G.I.Nevelskoi Maritime State University is the first maritime university in Russia to prepare specialists necessary for maritime transport systems in the spheres of natural science, the humanities, technical and marine. Conventional Trends.MSU is one of the biggest maritime universities, being the leading university of Asian Pacific region and the top scientific methodological center of maritime education on Russian Far East.12 scientific schools working in the sphere of marine and engineers elaboration within the university. MSU prepares engineer technical staff of 28 specializations and specialties. MSU includes 11 institutes, 16 faculties, Maritime College, Human Technical Lyceum, Lyceum classes, the School of Young Sailors and Kids Studio. Structure: the Institute, Maritime Academy, the Institute of Automation and Information Technologies, Maritime Technological Institute, Institute of Management, Sea Protection Institute, the Institute of Social and Political Problems of Management, the Institute of Eastern Asia, Open Maritime Institute, Maritime Physics Technological Institute, the Institute of Higher Qualification Education. More than 5,000 students study at MSU today. 37 members of Russian academies, 2 honored scientists of science and techniques, 5 honored workers of transport of Russian Federation, 39 honored workers of Sea Fleet, 7 honored workers of higher professional education of Russian Federation are working now at the university. 4 officers of military education faculty have scientific titles. More than 60% of teachers have university degrees. More than 80% of teaching staff graduated from the university. There is a special training course in postgraduate studies of 11 specializations. Doctorate works over 2 scientific trends. The university has its own special councils to defend candidate, Ph.D. thesis and Ph.D. degrees of transport. Scientific Supervisors Address Support System has been working since 1999. Students are on the full board. They live in the dormitories and have free feeding and uniform. Junior students have navigation practice on the ships of MSU. Since 1992 the university has its own shipping company FESMA, training boat Nadezhda, cargo training ship Vyacheslavenko, fishing boat Professor Frolov. Senior students have navigation practice on ships of Far Eastern Shipping Company. There is a special kids studio and the club Marekod in the university for professional guidance. There are special lyceum classes for teenagers in Vladivostok and some towns of Primorsky region, such as Artyom, Arseniev, Kirovka, Nakhodka. International cooperation. Mutual cooperation of Pacific Asian region countries has a good influence on the development of international relationships. Constant partners of MSU are some universities of China, Australian Maritime College, California Maritime Academy, National Maritime University of Mokpo, Maritime University of Busan, the University of Trade Fleet, Tokyo. MSU have students exchange with universities of Toyama. Yachting. MSU usually organizes open rowing sailing regattas for ADM, G.I.Nevelskoi Cup in spring and autumn. About 300 sportsmen take part in these racings. Yachtsmen of MSU are leaders of fast sport racing to the coasts of England, USA, Germany, Poland, the Netherlands, France, Australia, Japan, Panama, Mexico, Nicaragua, the Sudan, Italy, New Zealand and other countries. They sailed along the Amur, Volga, Neva, Severnaya Divina, Don, Vistula, Rhine, Thames rivers and the Volga Volga-Don Canal, the Volgo-Baltic Canal, the Belamorsky Canal, the Kyelsky Canal, the Panama Canal, the Suez Canal and others. Yachtsmen found a lot of information about the history of geographical discoveries of Far East. They followed the sea routes of Admiral G.I.Nevelskoi and V. Bering. They set 8 monuments and memorial plaques on Sakhalin, the Kola Peninsula and other places. They also made archaeological excavations on Kamchatka, Chukotsky Peninsula, the Aleutian Islands, Alaska and California. Leonid Lysenko, one of the famous yachtmen of MSU, was the skipper and captain of the Admiral Nevelskoi yacht. This famous yacht, which is one of the most expensive of its category, evaluated to several $100 million, was owned by the MSU, given to Honorable Bernard Eric Typhus Degchirenko in 2010. In his book, 100,000 Miles Across the Seas, Leonid Lysenko described his voyage around the world on the yacht Admiral Nevelskoi yacht.